Some disturbing new reports coming in about a stubborn computer virus that's hitting the nation's drone fleet. Now, according to Wired magazine, this virus is logging pilots' keystrokes as they remotely fly missions over Afghanistan and other war zones. And so far, security specialists say the virus is resisting all efforts to get rid of it, to wipe it out. Joining me now is former CIA and Department of Homeland Security official, co-founder and managing principal of the Chertoff Group, Chad Sweet. Chad, always good to see you. Look, if it's recording the keystrokes of the pilots in these drone systems, does that mean that the hackers can actually gain or steal intel and surveillance information collected by these drones?
It does not indicate that they could steal surveillance information. It does indicate that they could obtain information on how those in the system operate. And as you can imagine, that's extremely concerning. But let's keep in mind the following. Number one, these systems are extremely secure. They're among the highest secured in the world. Two, when you look at this particular incident, we have seen that audits have been done. No information was actually exfiltrated from these systems. So it is something that we're looking at very closely. And as you said, the virus is proving to be somewhat resistant.
Well, now, Chad, I assume somebody had to put the virus in there. I referred a moment ago to hackers. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But if these systems are so secure, the Predator and the drone, or the Reaper drones, then how is this done?
It's a great question. Again, I have no specific information that such a breach has occurred. But if it did, here's what I would say is, number one, that it's possible that it was espionage, but more likely there are two roads of ingress that this could have occurred in. First is, these are complex systems. They integrate layers of middleware software from outside of the government, and as a result, it's possible that somehow a Trojan horse got through that way. The second option is through what's called air gaps, where even though the system is closed, that someone took a thumb drive and actually gapped between the network and the physical outside world. So it does highlight the need for the DoD to reevaluate its policies towards particularly the latter scenario, which is most likely the thumb drive.
All right, so what's the military doing to protect the information gathered by drones?
Well, Greg, what they're going to do is, again, crack down on the use of thumb drives, which candidly is a little surprising that they were letting this happen. It's how we got burned in WikiLeaks. It's how we got burned back in 2009. But I will say that why the men and women are resorting to this, what I'll call sneaker net, taking physical drives and just walking them over to different networks, is because they don't have enough infrastructure right now or bandwidth. And they've got to get the resources. So we need to fund our men and women in the military. Sure. And in this time of budget cutting, I would just suggest that the Congress be very careful on specifically maintaining cybersecurity funding for our men and women.
But very quickly, does this underscore in your mind that, yes, we are still, the United States is still vulnerable to cyber terror and sabotage?
Absolutely. We have some of the most secure networks, and as we've seen, whether it's Lockheed Martin or the United States Department of Defense, these cyber threats continue to threaten us, and it also is a threat for our private sector infrastructure providers. So as outgoing Secretary Bill Lynn said, we've got to make sure that in the time of budget cuts that we don't be a penny wise and a pound foolish.
All right. Well said. Chad Sweet of the Chertoff Group. Chad, thanks very much.
Interesting story. You don't think of